Another Friday night here at the Luke Urban Fieldhouse means more Southeast Conference hoops as the boys from Durfee host Bridgewater-Raynham. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massoud. Welcome to the broadcast, joined once again by Brendan Kelly for tonight's action. Now, Coach, BR comes in tonight 6-8, but they're 4-1 in the conference, so this is a big game for them because it really could punch their ticket to the postseason.
Yeah, it's February basketball right now. BR, always a tough game, very well-coached team. They're fighting for their playoff lives. It's going to be a good one.
Now, Durfee, we saw them last Friday against Brockton. Tough game. We kind of expected that. But they went on to win on Saturday, and they lost a very tight game to Dartmouth. So they've been playing a little better of late. You think they got a chance tonight against a team that has struggled a little bit?
Yeah, at this time of the season right now, you know, guys are comfortable with each other. The end is near, so they're going to give it everything they have.
What would you say the message is? It's senior night. It's a special night. You've been there before. I'm sure the guys are itching to get on the court.
Yeah, I always tell my teams, I remember my senior night almost 20 years ago like it was yesterday. It's a special night for these guys.
All right, folks, we invite you to stick around. We'll have all the action next on Fred TV. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Laura Ferreira, the Director of Traffic and Parking. During a snowstorm, your safety is our first priority. At times, a parking ban may be necessary to ensure access for emergency vehicles and to allow plows to clear streets. A general rule is park on the side of the street opposite the fire hydrant. For more information, please visit our website at www.fallriverma.org and search parking ban. In addition, you may call the Mayor's office at 508-324-2600 or the Office of Traffic and Parking at 508-324-2123. New England weather can be unpredictable. Notification of a parking ban will be made early to give residents the opportunity to move their vehicles. Thank you for your assistance and cooperation.
Good things tend to happen on senior night. These are emotional nights in a good way. A lot of these kids have been dreaming about playing for Durfee since they were little kids. Tommy and John specifically, I mean, I've known them since they were little, and you know, their senior night, it comes up fast. So special things tend to happen on these type of nights. So definitely, Coach DeCruz has a lot to be, you know, optimistic about.
And it is the four seniors who are official, taking it off the shoulder as Doherty kind of swatted it out. John Karam, one of the four seniors. You will see that senior night ceremony at halftime, so we'll be running that at the half. But starters-wise, I will take BR, and Brendan, you can take Durfee. So for the Trojans visiting the Hilltoppers, they're 6-8, 4-1 in the conference. Number 15, Quinton Champagne. Love that name. 32, Ryan Rubenskas. Number 33, Daniel Doherty. Number 35, Jack Estabrook. And number 43, Michael Bourne. The Trojans are led by Doug Alves at head coach.
For the Hilltoppers, starting a four-guard lineup in a 2-3 zone. Up top, John Karam, Thomas Michael, Jeriel Rivera, Will Nieves, and playing the traditional undersized center for Durfee is Nelson DiCavallo.
And, of course, Joe DeCruz, the head coach for Durfee. Scoreless minute here. We've seen a couple turnovers. DiCavallo kisses it off the glass for the three ball, and the Hilltoppers start the scoring.
Nelson's done a great job all year. He's been that 3-and-D type player. I mean, he's playing center. He's up quite high in the zone, but he's done a great job for them this year. Nelson plays a lot of basketball. He's a good athlete, plays hard. I'm happy for him. He's having a good senior year.
That one falls off the rim. I saw one of the leaders of the six-man, and I saw him before the game, and I said, I want to hear noise every time BR's got the ball tonight. He says, oh, you bet. I said, well, I hope so. I want to hear it. I want to hear it loud and clear. Let everybody know that this is the field house.
Bring back the rowdy crowds of yesteryears for a senior night game.
Right. DiCarvalho wants another one. That one off the mark.
That first one didn't look like he went glass. That one looked like he was trying to go glass.
Yeah, the first one, when it came out of his hands, I thought it was going to go too far to the right, and it hit the glass just right.
It was also off of a very weird angle.
Yeah. Will Nieves with the going to be an offensive foul.
Nieves flying down the court on the fast break. A little out of control.
Took out Michael Bourne. So Durfee's first foul. It's on Nieves. Martinez.
Hilltop is already with 3 3-point attempts, taking a page out of the Houston Rockets with just chuck them up early and often.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. BR doing the same thing right here, and it's Doherty with the 3, and just like that, we're tied.
BR in a 1-2-2 press, going to make the Hilltoppers work to bring the ball over half court.
Nieves fakes the pass, going to kick it back out to DiCarvalho. Almost lost it there. Able to reel it in now to Thomas Michael. That's going to be well short from Rivera.
DiCarvalho with the hustle rebound. Got himself trapped in the corner, though.
Jerry Rivera, any relation to Yamil Rivera?
Not that I believe.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yamil Rivera from
Yamil, yeah.
2016 class.
Right,
yeah. Very good guard.
He had some, a little streaky with the shooting, but there were some games we saw he just went off. You couldn't stop him from downtown.
Could defend.
He had some big games.
Could defend with the best of them, too.
Yeah. Basket, good for the big guy there. Number 32, Rubenskas, and he'll take the shot. The lone captain for the Trojans.
BR doing a traditional big at the foul line, streaking right down the middle in that zone offense. As old school and as fundamental as it gets for BR.
Rivera picks up the foul, Durfee's second. I'm wondering if Coach DeCruz is going to keep the seniors out. This is not the usual starters, of course. We're used to seeing Pereira, Holly, Lewis, and Hall out on the court. And those 4 are not on the court yet. I'm wondering how long Coach will keep the seniors out there.
Nieves up the middle of the court. I think he got away with a travel.
I think so, too. And that's going to be backcourt. So, in the end, a turnover for the Hilltoppers.
One of those ball doesn't lie. Got away with one, but, turnover.
So, Durfee started with the 3. It's a 6-0 run since then for the Trojans. They have the 6-3 lead.
And here come Holly, Hall, and Lewis. 2 threes and a traditional old school 3-point play.
And now the switch. The seniors get a nice hand as they exit the court, all except for DiCarvalho, who is a usual starter. Oh, no, he did come out too.
Durfee with a little bit more of a balanced lineup with more of a traditional big in their typical guards.
Rivera wants 3, and it's going to be no good. Second miss for him. Hall gets a tough rebound, passes it out. Good pass. Oh, what a great block from Rubenskas.
Tremendous block right off the glass. He timed that perfect.
And that's what Heidel do. Easily the tallest player out on the court. Foul called on the rebound.
Rubenskas comes in as a very highly touted player. Definitely a college level player. I've heard a lot of him. His brother's a collegiate level player. Comes from a family of very good basketball players. He's and so far shown the hype that he is a tremendous player.
Elijah Coleman for Durfee picking up the team's 3rd foul. It's his first as he just came into the game.
Bridgewater-Raynham with a fresh shot clock.
Another 3-ball. That's on right behind the line. It was no good. How about that stretch? Unfortunately, didn't pan out for Champaign, but man, great reach.
Bridgewater-Raynham in a man-to-man now. Durfee with a
Hall.
6-3.
Jay Hall from downtown. Made that look easy.
If Hall develops a nice jump shot, he's going to be a tough player to play against the next 2 years because he's strong to the basket, he's quick, he's a lot bigger than you think, and he plays hard.
Bad pass ends up caroming off of one of the Hilltoppers, or excuse me, one of the Trojans to the Hilltoppers, and now Holly resetting the offense here. Looking for a lane. Oh, close to a travel. That foot just staying planted in the back there. Now kicking it out to Lewis. So we come up on 10 on the shot clock. Step back for three. Got it! How about that from Lewis?
Durfee in a dribble drive offense, their first step is tremendous. If they can get to the basket and do a lot of those driving kickouts, they're going to be in business tonight.
Another turnover. They'll feed it to Holly. One-on-one to the basket. Puts it up. No good. That's one he usually makes.
Holly does a good job of getting in the air and creating in the air. Just missed a shot on that one.
So interesting to note that only one field goal in the game so far. We've seen 5 threes between the two sides. Both sides taking a lot of shots early from three-point land.
The game of basketball. Everybody shoots threes now.
I know. We talked about it last week. That's a pretty take for Rivera. See, we got to see more of that, too. You got to get that fine line because if you're just shooting threes, then everybody's going to know they can play the perimeter. Got to get those drives, and that was a great take from Rivera.
Yep. Well, teams that can dunk, but dunks and threes, keys and threes, what everybody wants these days. Get into the painted area or three-point shot. Bridgewater-Raynham's on the same philosophy.
Kicked back out on the three-ball miss. Now a jumper for Rubenskas. No good as well, but a bad ricochet. Oh, and a travel. Durfee's on an 8-0 run here, by the way.
It's actually almost funny when you see an old 15-foot jumper.
Right.
You don't see them that much, and when you almost see one, you're almost like, whoa. But still a good shot. Bridgewater-Raynham with the pressure again in the backcourt. A little lighter this time. Still in there man-to-man.
Yeah, but a streaky start for both sides. Both sides going on some fairly decent runs here. Rivera looking for room, trying to do the same thing as he just did. No good that time. Durfee inbound with about half the shot clock expired. Already just about only 90 seconds to play in this first quarter. Been a quick first.
Despite some foul trouble in the beginning.
Yeah.
7 on the shot clock for Durfee. Gonna have to go quick. Lewis with
the basket.
Another one of those guys. He can get into the lane and finish amongst the big boys. He's done it all year.
That makes it officially a 10-0 run for Durfee.
Durfee doing a good job sagging on their zone. Doing a good job closing out onto their shooters.
That's going to be off the back of the rim. Good reach from Rivera on Doherty's miss. He's put a couple up that he's missed.
Great dump off.
Wow. Timeout for BR. 15-9.
Great spot by Durfee. About the halfway through this quarter. Really working hard.
So a 12-0 run forces the timeout from BR. And that's just what the doctor ordered here early for Durfee. Haven't seen many games where Durfee's had a lead like this, 2 possessions or more.
Well, knocking down a couple threes to start opened up their lane to get to the basket, and then when they're drawing double, they're dumping off for nice, easy layups. And when you have 2 of the better guards in the conference that can get to the rim, teams that play man-to-man against them, this is where Durfee can excel.
Well, JV took the first game 78-70. Just moments before this one, they wrapped it up. JV's really had a great season.
Yeah.
And that just shows you, again, the future of where, varsity basketball is going to be going in the next 2-3 years. I think we're going to see some runs here by the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, Coach Rodrigues has done a great job with those guys. They've got some nice young talent. They start a couple of sophomores. They start a freshman. They've done a really, really good job all season.
The basket for Rubenskas finally breaks up Durfee's run. So officially it went for 12 points. That makes it a 4-point game. 5-second differential on the shot clock. So Durfee will have to get a basket off before time expires. And Rivera tries to get the second chance effort as well to the basket. Nice try. King breaking down the court. 10 seconds. Durfee will get another chance here down the court. 5 seconds now. Holly just takes the 3. No good.
Loose ball foul.
Holly didn't really set on that one. I think he kind of rushed it. He had a lot of time.
He had enough time for maybe another dribble and then maybe even to the lane. But you see those, you think it's easy, 3, 2, 1, shoot them. And you think that, you get time for a dribble or you don't have time for a dribble.
They're not going to have time for a dribble here. 0.7 seconds on the clock.
It's a catch and shoot.
Lewis lets it go. It's off the top of the glass. So Durfee, a 12-0 run allows them to keep the lead, but they only lead by 2 after 1. It's 15-13 Hilltoppers.
Bridgewater-Raynham came back with back-to-back possessions to score. Bridgewater-Raynham's fighting for their playoff lives here, so they're not going to take a 10-0 run and sit back on it. They're going to attack on their end.
Like I said, too, fast first quarter. Anytime you don't see a lot of trips to the free throw line, it keeps the game moving. And we only saw one trip. It was Rubenska's, the and one, earlier in that first quarter, about maybe the 5-minute mark. So, but I like what I'm seeing from Durfee early. It's nice that, they've hit 3 threes. Good to see that the outside shot is going down. But we've also seen some nice drives to the basket as well. So I kind of like the balance right now. Now it's about sustaining.
Yeah, Durfee did a good job. They took care of the ball, first and foremost. There weren't a lot of turnovers. They were spaced well on offense. And they've got 2 of the better guards in the conference that can get into the rim. And if we get guys that are able to knock down shots on the wing on the kicks, and those guys are going to dump them off too when they get into the lane, this is where Durfee can excel tremendously offensively.
Trojans will start with the ball. It's Deshaun Jean-Pierre, number 11. He got the inbound pass. Good feed. Oh, it doesn't go. Aiden Bryan.
Durfee's going to have to, if they stay in that zone, they're going to have to pitch the middle. Simplicity of that offense is the ball's going to go to the corner and it's going to be a dive down every time.
Good drive. Holly fouled on his way to the basket.
As he stated, getting to the rim.
Second foul for BR. So I had, I think I mentioned it last Friday, I had Matt Kurt with me on Monday for the Diamond Conley boys game.
Matt had a night off from refereeing.
Right, yeah. He says, Mondays work great for me. I said, well, I'm glad because this is the matchup I wanted you to do with me. And needless to say, it was a pretty close game at the half. Conley went off in the third quarter.
Was Matt able to turn his Conleyness off for a little while? And,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Matt's
all-time great over there.
Yeah, Matt's a big-time basketball brain as well. I mean, and now, nice drop back from Holly. Knocks it down, just like Lewis at the end of the first. Same type of thing. But no, Matt was a lot of fun. We tried to do a game last year and it didn't end up working out. So I said, hey, let's give it another shot here. And wide open 3 coming for Buckley, and that one does go.
Got Bridgewater-Raynham out of that slump from the shooting.
He referenced, though, he said at Diamond, we had a couple balls kind of dribble in and out, like for Aiden Bryan here the other end. And a travel called on the handoff. And Matt said, he says, these hoops here at Diamond have never been that forgiving. He says, Conley, yes, even at Durfee, yes, but he says for these it's like they're a millimeter too small and they just don't get, the bounces just don't go the player's way. So I found that interesting because, obviously he's been there as a player, he's been there as a coach. And I'm not sure, he might have even been there as a ref. I'm not sure if he's gotten to officiate a game over at Diamond yet, but I know he's officiated here. He did last year. And I ran into him at Blue Hills for a tournament game last year.
As players and as coaches, we all have our gyms that we like to shoot in and like to play in.
Sure.
And that must be a gym that he didn't like to shoot in. Well, Bishop Connolly has always been actually my favorite gym in the area to shoot, and those are very, very forgiving rims.
Yeah?
And didn't play there very often in high school.
Sure.
But I've always liked that gym, and I've always actually found this place very hot to shoot in.
Tough foul here, and Holly's going to get it. I thought they were going to give it to Coleman. Holly picks up the foul. He had 3 Hilltoppers around Rubenskis trying to swat the ball away, and they almost had it, and then the foul was called. Well, yeah, we talked about when we were warming up, when the players were warming up last week and we did our opening down on the court, that, you get clear glass, for the backboard, of course, and there's all this space behind. Like, there's no wall. It's not like Diamond or Conley. So from a perspective standpoint, when you're taking shots, especially the corner, it's going to be kind of hard. Travel called. Did you find it difficult because of that? Was it the perspective? Or
Yeah, these big field houses are traditionally harder to shoot in. Even that's why this is a good home court advantage. A couple of the other, New Bedford Volk's a tough gym to shoot in. Taunton can be a tough gym to shoot in. But if you're a shooter like Matt Kurt, you can shoot in any gym. It doesn't really matter. But I always liked the older, smaller gyms. The old Somerset, Bishop Stang, Bishop Conley.
Well, there's the argument, or I don't say argument, maybe question of when Billy Shea played, he didn't have a 3-point line, but and then Matt played for Billy, and Matt did have the 3-point line, and he stands to this day as the top point getter for Conley, and his former player Tommy Keys about 100 points shy of Matt, but I wonder if Billy had the 3-point line, he'd probably be number one on that list, I would have to think.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys from that era.
Yeah.
We have two of our own, Kevin White and Brian O'Neill.
Right,
that they say, they're 1,000-point scorers without a 3-pointer, and most of their game was out that area. I can only imagine what their total would be if they played with a 3-point.
Sure. Thrown away. BR going to keep it. They say it was deflected. So this past Wednesday, got to do another doubleheader at UMass. We also talked about that last week. This week, Eastern Connecticut came in. The women Warriors, they beat UMass, but the men, former Robert Bowen standout from Brockton, Marcus Azor.
Yep.
Buzzer 3 to win it as time expired.
Both teams over there are playing well. They're going to be very, very interesting come tournament time, which is right around the corner for college Division III.
Hall with the putback.
Jay Hall, that's what he does well. He crashes the boards well, and he plays so hard. That's his game right there.
Got 7 points, leading all scorers early here. Well, the thing with Azor's 3-ball is that one goes down for Rubenskas.
Another dive down. It's the same play. Ball goes to the corner. It's a dive down for the big.
Little push off there for Coleman.
Coleman with a nice little dribble drive inside out to get a little bit of space.
23-18. Well, I was going to say about Azor, with UMass, the shot clock had about 1.2 seconds less than the game clock. But under 30, the lights don't light up on the glass. They go off with the game clock, not the shot clock. Lewis with a good drive.
Another tremendous block.
Oh, yeah, big-time block. So Azor didn't get the shot off in time. The officials were looking for red. They weren't watching the shot clock. They gave it to him. They didn't, because there's no replay. They counted the shot, and it was, we saw it on the replay, on the channel, and the ball's in the palm of his hand, and the clock says 0. And it was a split second. It still said 0 when he released it. They gave him the 3.
Well, you take a little bit of that home refereeing.
I guess so. Trained by Jay Hall up to 10 points, and the Hilltoppers back up to an 8-point lead.
Hall's playing with a lot of confidence right now. As a player, I know what it feels like when you hit your first couple shots, the confidence starts going, and you can tell he's riding high with confidence right now.
Who was your coach here?
Kevin Whiting.
Oh, it was Whiting. Okay.
Yep.
Dribbled, kicked back out. Who has it? Still loose, and it's going to be Will Nieves Martinez picking it up. Holly. No good.
Loose ball, hustle foul.
Yeah, and Hall knows it. Those are unavoidable.
Yep, I played for Coach Whiting in his first couple of years. Bobby Dempsey was the varsity coach when I was a freshman, and then Coach Whiting took over the next 3 years.
Gotcha.
Almost 20 years ago.
Wow. Well, hey, I graduated here in 07, so that was 13 years ago. It's really kind of amazing how fast time goes by.
Especially when you're in this building daily like we are. And
True, I know. That's the whole thing is, I started working here as the spring of 2012. Like, what the heck?
I've been in this building in some form of capacity since preschool in 1989, so it'll be interesting when this place is knocked down and we're into the new building. There'll be a lot of memories, a lot of years in here.
Yeah. I can't wait till because of course I spend probably more time in here than anywhere else.
Hall with a definite heat check right there.
Yeah.
He's smiling right now. He knows as well.
Got away with one. But, No, between volleyball in the fall and the spring, 2 basketball teams here in the winter, probably spend more time here than at any other facility for sports on the campus, and I can't wait till this place gets renovated because I know that's part of the plans here. Another 3 for BR. Doherty's second from downtown.
Bridgewater's starting to heat up a little bit. When you shoot as much and you can tell this is part of their game plan, they're not going to stay cold all night.
No, and again, it's up to Durfee to be able to sustain their pace of play because they've really controlled this game. Hall with a wide open look. It's just a little long, tipped up, and it's going to be taken by Champaign. But Durfee, it's their home court. They got to sustain, and they got to keep playing their way. And they've played very well to this point.
Speaking of the home court and the renovation,
yeah,
I still believe when this place is wall-to-wall packed, this is the best gym in the state and one of the best in New England. And would we just get modern-day updates? And there's really not a ton besides a few cosmetic things that need to be done. This is still in great shape. This is just, it's an unbelievable facility.
It is. Owen Nowicki, number 21, getting the foul. He wasn't on our roster there, Brendan, if you want to add him. He's number 21. We saw him get some playing time, of course, the last few games.
Owen's another sophomore with gigantic upside. A little taller than you think he is, shoots the ball very well, and he can get to the rim and finish.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I've known since early elementary school, been going to camp. He's a guy that couldn't wait to put the Durfee jersey on.
Yeah, and that's important, and that was the point of your the camp that you and Jameson ran was in addition to, middle school sports, it's a feeder. It's meant to give the kids a taste of what goes on here at the high school because this is the ultimate goal.
As much as I love sports and all aspects and levels of sports, I mean, my introduction and my falling in love moment was coming into this gym and watching those teams. And, there's a lot of kids that feel this way right now. They're watching these guys, these girls, every Tuesday and Friday night in the winter, and they can't wait to come here and play. And we tried to push that as much as we could.
3 seconds on the shot clock.
Holly doesn't
even know. Tough trip down the other side there for Durfee that time.
That's going to come from the bench, whether it's a player or an assistant coach. Got to be aware of the shot clock.
So BR ball got a chance to tie here.
We talked last week about closing out quarters. Usually the last 90 seconds of a quarter is a lot more important than you think. Can make or break games sometimes with getting stops and continued scores or vice versa.
It's going to be Durfee ball. No, I mean, I'm a little too young to know, but I remember Tom Burns telling me that this place, it was standing room only every Friday night. Every Friday night. And that's amazing to me because I've never seen it that way, and I know how loud it gets in here with half a crowd. I can imagine it must have been deafening in here on a sold-out Friday night against New Bedford, for example. I mean, it must have been absolutely nuts.
Well, the funny you say on a Friday night sold out against New Bedford, it was like that on a Tuesday night versus Attleboro.
Really?
And my first recollection of those great Durfee teams in '92, I was in third grade, really going to every game, really starting to know every player and all that. And if you weren't here by the JV game, you weren't going to be able to get in.
Yeah, absolutely. A travel call, getting a little rouse out of the BR fans to our left. They didn't like that call. I couldn't see the feet from where we're seated, but it sure looked like it was a catch and release pass. It didn't look like it was anything major. That's a bad inbounding
Durfee
pass.
was at a bad angle as well. Got lucky with a miss, but put back.
Rubenskis with the putback. It's just a 1-point game here. We're under a minute.
Durfee's not in their press breaker. They got to be organized, getting the ball up the floor. This is an important 43 seconds to close out the half right here. Momentum can shift big time in this position right here. They're going to have to inbound again from that tough angle. Bridgewater-Raynham's dropping back, though.
Michael Bourne with the foul on the court. The third for BR. Durfee's at 7, so you want to try to avoid a foul here the rest of the way, these final 40 seconds, so you don't give any free shots to
Bridgewater-Raynham. Dropped it to a 1-2-2.
That's a
Coleman
great
with a tough finish.
It is a tough finish. Got a good feed. Just couldn't put it up. A lot of pressure.
Bridgewater-Raynham's going to be patient on offense, get a good look. right into that painted area.
And that one was short, so Durfee 15 seconds. We'll see how they handle it here.
Should probably hold for the final shot.
Oh, that's a travel.
And we give BR ball back again with 10 seconds and a chance to take the lead. Clock management is key in these big games right here when you're trying to win, especially conference games late in the season. Clock management. Bridgewater-Raynham certainly taking their time, but
kicking it out. Buzzer 3, no good. So Durfee will go into the half with a lead. The lead is a little smaller than it was after one quarter, as we've wrapped up 16 minutes of play. 26-25 the score here after one half. We're going to step aside. We'll have the halftime ceremony for you from pregame, and we also have some highlights from the Durfee girls game, which was Tuesday night here against Dartmouth, so we'll take a look at those as well. Brendan and I will be back right after that. You're watching boys basketball on Fred TV.
Damaris, check. Rosalie. It's critical that your child is in school every day. Our teachers care about your children. I care about your children. Equally, we know that you care about your children. We know that when students are in school, it opens the door to college and career in ways unmeasurable. Look, I know sometimes it's hard to get to school, but you gotta be here every day. As a parent, if you need help, we wanna help you. These guys are the best. Our teachers do an amazing job building relationships. Look at the work that they produce. School is fun, school is cool. We need you here every single day. Gotta be here every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 2020 Cheerleading and Boys Basketball Senior Night Ceremony. Tonight, we will recognize and congratulate our cheerleading and boys basketball seniors on their hard work, commitment, and dedication to their squad and basketball program. Introducing first our cheerleading seniors. Introducing first our cheerleading seniors. Captain Aaliyah Barros, accompanied by Avenira Texera and Alana Barros. Captain Sam Souza, accompanied by Nicole Souza and Garrett Souza. Captain Veronica Sang, accompanied by Sokun Sang. Cecilia Alou, accompanied by Mike Fogarty and Melissa Fogarty. Cameron Valcourt, accompanied by Daniel Valcourt and Lynn Christensen. Isabella Hitu, accompanied by Greta Hitu, Douglas Hitu, and Chanel Hitu. Jaden LaPointe, accompanied by Dave LaPointe, Amanda LaPointe, and Anna LaPointe. And how about one more round of applause for our 2020 Durfee High School cheerleading seniors. And now, introducing our boys basketball seniors. Introducing first, the captain, Nelson D. Carvalho, accompanied by his mom and dad, Edna and Paolo D. Carvalho. John Karam, accompanied by his mom and dad, Steve and Francesca Karam. Thomas Michael, accompanied by his mom and dad, Gary and Teresa Michael. Will Nieves Martinez, accompanied by his dad, Will Nieves. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 basketball and cheerleading seniors, we wish you all the best as you go forward to your future.
Honor, courage, sacrifice, pride, our city. Fall River has traditionally been in the forefront of honoring our nation's soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen. Vietnam veterans took the initiative to secure rights to an 80% size replica of the Healing Wall for Veterans Bicentennial Park. The names of over 58,000 fallen heroes will be engraved on the 360-foot long replica wall. 100% of the money raised benefits the building of our Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Fall River. Help build our wall, which is scheduled to open in 2020. The meaning, the spirit, and the value of the wall is everyone's. Be part of this exceptional, once-in-a-lifetime project. To make a donation, please visit vietnammemorialwall.org or connect with us at facebook.com.
Welcome back to Durfee High School. Evan Massoud with you during this halftime break. You just got to see the senior night ceremony from pregame earlier this evening. Now, let's take a look at some girls basketball highlights that were from this past Tuesday, Southeast Conference action. Middle school basketball night here at the Field House. Everyone cheering on the Lady Hilltoppers, who are still in search of their first win here in 2020. Durfee getting on the board early, though, thanks to some good passing down low. Mackenzie Carrero to O'Shea Sterling to Jada Holly for the bank shot off the glass. That ties it at 2. We'll jump ahead in the first quarter. 9-4 Indians. Hilltoppers get 3 back thanks to Mackenzie Carrero. Wide open corner 3, and she drains it. Makes it 9-7. After Durfee tied at 9-9, Dartmouth went on a 12-0 run, thanks largely in part to Ashlyn Sylvia, who knocked down not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive threes in 3 straight trips down the court. Indians improved to 12-3 on the season with the 63-45 victory here at Durfee. Second half coming up right after this on Fred TV. Don't go anywhere.
Damaris, check. Rosalie.
In our city and nationwide, there is a unified effort to communicate to parents the necessity of school attendance.
I always make sure I bring my daughter to school because it's very important for me and for her future.
School matters. Make their education a priority.
Be here to get there.
Okay, everybody, hope you enjoyed the halftime break there. You know, the senior night ceremony is always a lot of fun to see. And, you know, it's a nice way to honor players, especially those, you know, who've put in so much time. You know, a lot of the four-year players, always good to see that. And, of course, you saw Dartmouth beat Durfee there 63-45. Another tough night for the Durfee girls. They really banged up. Now I mentioned last time that Cameron is out the rest of the season for the girls. So, you know, it's kind of a, you know, just try to finish as strong as you can. Got to go back to the drawing board next year. They'll do okay. It's just that they're just really beat up right now.
Yeah, injuries are part of the game, and I've been in that situation when sometimes when it rains, it pours, and
right,
you know, they come in bunches. But there's a lot of young talent there. They'll be just right back to normal.
So definitely, you know, a tough season for the girls, though, as we were saying, and. But, you know, the one thing I'll say is they're always positive. That's one thing. You know, we've done a number of the girls' games. They're always positive whenever we've been there, so I'm happy to see that. But definitely a challenging year, too, for Coach Smith and the Lady Hilltoppers.
Bridgewater-Raynham right back out in their zone offense, get the ball to the middle.
Oh, we're going to see.
Loose ball foul.
Offensive.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
All the years I've been around basketball, I swear it's a coin flip on those. It could have just very well went the other way.
I'll be honest with you, and I always have trouble with the offensive ones, but that one I was going to say offensive because I thought the defender was pretty planted. So I was actually kind of leaning that way, and that was actually what the call was. You may feel differently, but Rubenskis puts it in for two. He's now got 13 points, leading all scorers, and the BR Trojans take the lead.
I mean, Durfee hit the backboard and taking the ball out of bounds. That's basketball 101. You don't take the ball exactly under. They're not in their press breaker. They can throw the ball away again.
Another turnover, so not a good start here to the second half. For Durfee, a three-ball put up. It is no good. Rubenskis with the rebound. It's tapped out of play.
Rubenskis definitely came as advertised. He traditional around the rim big. Got a nice touch, can make some nice smooth moves to the basket, and he rebounds well.
And just like that, Coach DeCruz calls a timeout. Wants to reset here. 4 points in a matter of 3 seconds. Not what you want to see as a coach.
4 points and 2 bad turnovers. They're going to have to make sure that they're in their press breaker, make sure that they're organized, getting the ball over half court before they get into their offense. And Bridgewater-Raynham, you know, down one on the road and pretty close to what a must-win game is at this point in the season. They came out of the locker room fired up. You can tell there's an extra pep in their defense. They're trapping a little bit quicker, and you know they're going to get themselves in back of the game this way.
Well, we mentioned it again. You know, BR, they're 6-8. You know, they could get in just by overall record, but you know the 4-1 conference record in the expanded, you know, Big 3 Old Colony merger we've been talking about since September. That is, you know, now the Southeast Conference, 5 teams. Top 2 get in when you go over 3 teams in a conference. So now 5 in a conference, top 2 teams into the tournament. At 4-1, you know, Durfee's really looking to play spoiler here because BR could pretty much punch their ticket to the tournament. This could be it for them if they win it tonight.
Bridgewater-Raynham obviously looking at that second place, but Coach Alves goes out and schedules one of the better, tougher schedules in this area. If you look at who they've played non-conference early in the year, Bridgewater-Raynham, they'll play everybody, and they tend to.
That's a bad foul right there. That looked like a jump ball. Both players had their hands wrapped around the ball, and I think that's what Coach DeCruz is yelling because he just let the official here at the backcourt really hear it. I don't see that. Maybe you saw something I didn't, but it sure looked like Lewis had his hands wrapped around that ball, and he was pretty much getting dragged by Rubenskis. Another rebound for BR. This time Estabrook puts it in, his first basket of the night. And for Bridgewater-Raynham, a 6-0 run to start the second half.
The court is very crowded when Durfee's taking that ball out of bounds. Bridgewater-Raynham's nothing but just over-aggressive man-to-man, and Durfee's got everybody trying to help bring the ball up. And Bridgewater-Raynham's guarding them and puts 10 players in a small percentage of the floor. It gets real crowded.
And now a turnover, bad pass forced by that pressure, I'm sure. And BR will take it back. So nothing but Bridgewater-Raynham in these first 2 minutes of the third.
Durfee's got a little bit lucky, too, that Bridgewater-Raynham's missed a bunch of shots.
You know, I'm starting to see, too, they're passing around the perimeter very well. And now a drive to the basket. Foul is going to be on Coleman. The pass in the ball is so fast, though, that the defenders almost can't get there quick enough to defend a shot.
A couple ways to beat a zone. One, you shoot them out of it, which they're not doing. Another one is get those dive downs, what they've been doing. And the other one is just move the ball real fast, make the zone move. Eventually, there'll be a missed spot, and that's when you can attack.
So 2 shots for Michael Bourne. He just hit the first. Hits the second as well.
Another crowded area for Durfee.
Yeah, it's pretty evident that the Trojans are playing pretty much like a full court press. They don't want to give Durfee any room, and that must have been the talk in the locker room, is we're going to really tighten things up now as Estabrook picks up his first team foul for the BR Trojans.
And just about 3 minutes into the half, Durfee hasn't even gotten a clean look offensively, not even anything resembling a clean look.
No, not at all. And that's another, wow, lucky that Lewis was back there. Kick out to Hall. Jumper for Rivera, no good. And Trojans take it back. Wide open on the far side all day long, and it never hits the rim, though. Tough one for Bourne. Could have been a travel down here, down low. Couple hops for, I think it was Rubenskas underneath who had the rebound. He hopped twice with the ball. Surprised they didn't call the travel.
Hall fouled on the floor. Not a shooting foul.
First foul for Rubenskas, second for the team. And Durfee has to deal with the inbound pass again. Quick pass in toward the bench. Oh, wow, Lewis going to take a long three. Got it off the glass. That's a big shot right there. Hilltoppers needed that. So that's 8 points for Lewis, his second from downtown. First basket of this third quarter for Durfee comes about 3 minutes into it.
Lewis is a kid all season. He's not scared of the moment, and he's not afraid to make plays happen, and they did just that.
Wow. Estabrook, that was beautiful. From behind the glass, the basket for number 35 of the Trojans. Spin move down low. Coleman
tried to return the favor and get to the foul line.
Yep. And that, you know what caused that foul? The fact that he waited. He waited. He ducked down. A lot of times when you show the patience like that, you end up drawing the foul because it throws the timing of the defender off. And that's the second foul now for Rubenskas. 2 in a row for him.
Coleman, he's a big kid, but not as big as some of these traditional centers, but he's got some great moves underneath there. Does a really, really nice job of up faking and getting his defender in the air.
And that one will not go.
DiCavallo in the game for Rivera.
Coleman misses them both. Those are shots you got to have. Tough trip to the line for Coleman.
BR's flying up the floor right now. They've really come out of the time, out of halftime with a big-time sense of urgency. Nice high-low and one.
Down low again for Estabrook. That's 3 times he's done that here in this third quarter. No one defending him underneath, and he's going to continue to do it. The Hilltoppers don't start recognizing that threat. DiCavallo picks up his first foul. Durfee's fourth.
They're getting the ball right to the foul line, and when you have that opportunity at the foul line, guys aren't collapsing fast enough.
No, you're
there's
absolutely right.
There's a lot of options there, and that kid's a smart player.
So the and one is good. 38-29 the score. BR outscoring Durfee in this quarter, 13-3.
They're making Durfee play fast, and they're making them play at a pace that they're not ready for right now. And they haven't gotten anything into a half-court offense. They're just trying to get the ball over half court.
No, and you know what? It's almost like last week against Brockton. It's kind of almost that panic offense that you mentioned. That seems to be what's going on right now. Durfee's not getting any clean looks, and they're not able to adjust right now on the floor. Because what was working in the first half is not working right now.
Well, Bridgewater's stepped up their defensive intensity significantly.
Yeah. 10 on the shot clock. Lewis, that one off the top of the glass.
Did not hit the shot clock. I'm not sure why the shot clock is...
it never hit the rim.
Excuse me, didn't hit the rim.
Yeah.
That should be a shot clock violation, as Coach Alves is referencing on the floor.
Well, in addition to that, so that's a valid point. It never hit the rim. It also hit the top of the glass, which is out of bounds, and it's supposed to be a turnover right then and there.
My guess is the officials are talking this over. Although they're waving Durfee ball, there was an error on the shot clock.
Yeah, shot clock should not have reset, and the ball should have been dead before that because it hit the top of the glass, which is a turnover.
And the officials are getting it right.
Right. So it is going to be Trojans ball, whether Durfee fans like it or not. That is absolutely the right call on multiple levels of proof, if you will.
Jaden Lewis kind of trying to play the refs a little bit like, hey, why? When he knows why. That was an old trick of mine as well.
Oh, so the why questions, what do you mean, me? That's done purposely?
The why questions when you knew the answer, and you knew the answer was a definite.
That's funny.
Old trick.
So if you ask why, they know. Is that what it is? They already know?
Trying to play it out.
Durfee inbounded the ball. Then the buzzer rang for the sub. They allowed the sub despite the ball being put into play. So that was interesting.
And the shot clock, and here we are.
Now it's reset again.
Clean on the shot clock here.
Yep.
Bridgewater-Raynham is just ready to jump at the ball.
Quick three in the corner. It's going to be no good. Coleman, nice reach on the rebound. Highly contested rebound. Dumps it off to Hall.
Good touch by Hall.
12 points for Jay Hall. First basket of this third quarter.
I'd like to see Durfee try to get out of that zone a little bit and see in the latter parts of the third quarter, see if they can make some disruption happen with some good ball pressure. Our guards are very quick. They're fast.
Yeah.
They're all defenders in football.
Let them press full court for a while.
Let them try, make the ball handlers work a little bit for Bridgewater-Raynham, try to disrupt their offense. I understand that there's potential for a little bit of a mismatch with their bigs, but
no, forget about it.
It is what it is.
I
think their guards can guard anybody.
Give BR a taste of their own medicine right now. Why not? Holly, basket, foul shots coming. The basket does not go, but Holly's going to take two shots.
If Durfee's strength is their speed and their quickness, if they can try and disrupt a little bit of Bridgewater-Raynham's ball handlers, try to get some easy layups, get that momentum to shift a little bit.
Interesting development here. 3 of the 4 BR fouls in the second half have been tagged to Rubenskas, who had 0 in the first half. Oh, that one in and talk about not a forgiving rim there. The basket. Holly can't get that one to sit. So he's only 1 for 3, small sample size, but not too sharp from the free throw line here. In the 2 for 4 now.
Rubenskas going to the bench. 2 minutes, 47 seconds left to go in the third quarter. It's not that big of a deal. It's not 4. But Durfee can get into the lane a little bit without the big guy in there.
Right. Well, they had some height that just came in, 35 and 42. 42 just came in. That's Aiden Bryan. He had a couple minutes play earlier. Lewis going to sit for Durfee, as Hall just picked up his second foul. They brought in Will Nieves Martinez.
Bringing Nieves as an extra ball handler as well.
Durfee's play. There's always someone open the way they're moving the ball around. Just like that. Oh, what a block! Di Carvalho Make it like volleyball at the net, Brendan.
Nelson, about 5 people from the stand just turned and looked at me for volleyball, as I am well aware that this is Nelson DiCavallo, and he does that quite often in volleyball. That was actually funny. About 5 people just turned.
And a travel. Wow. No, seriously, that was all volleyball right there from DiCavallo.
Well, hopefully we'll do it on the second broadcast. Owen Nowaki, that he sees that basketball and volleyball, great transfer skills. Just look at Nelson. Durfee get the ball over half court, a little more organized on this one right here.
Just a 2-possession game. Holly looking for some room.
Brought him right out of bounds.
Just stepped out of bounds. No room under there. Again, BR with the size, and they're really taking care of the paint.
Durfee got to attack the angles a little bit better, give yourself another opportunity to get to the rim without getting to that dead zone.
If Durfee can keep this a 2-possession game,
going into the fourth quarter, this is where home court advantage and the great feelings of a senior night.
In and out, and Durfee with the rebound. Hall comes away with it. No, absolutely. So it's not where Durfee wants to be. It's been a cold quarter for them, just 6 points. Make it 9. Jay Hall.
Jay Hall having a fantastic game with his third three-pointer, along with his rebounding and his hustle plays. It's a big game for Jay Hall.
15 points for Hall.
Durfee with the turnover.
Yeah, Durfee had a chance. They got the turnover, and then they gave it back up.
We're in that closeout period time right here where if Durfee can get a stop and a score, the loudness of them coming out of the halftime isn't so loud right now.
Twice doesn't go. Rubenskis not in the game right now. Holly gets the foul, goes down very hard. Never even really got the shot off.
Does a good job getting to the rim. I think he got a little lucky right there. That was the 50-50-ness of getting to the rim. That looked like he could have been a jump ball, but Holly will get his opportunity for 2 at the line.
The foul is on Zachary Whiting, or Whitting, 2 T's. I would say Whitting then, right? Number 31 has not seen much playing time. No baskets to this point, just in there as a sub right now.
Bridgewater-Raynham came out very loud and aggressive out of the half. Durfee is withstanding it right now, and it doesn't look so loud right now. This is a very important minute of closing out this quarter. They closed the first quarter out well, not so much on the second quarter. This is very important right here that Durfee digs in defensively, takes care of the ball, and gets a good opportunity on the offensive end.
It's a 1-point game, 38-37. Holly's made his last 3 free throws. I really would have liked to see Durfee. Oh, it's off the rim. Hilltopper's going to get it back. Hall puts it up. That's not a great shot.
Durfee's going to take the ball out. Durfee's going to manage the ball right now a little bit. We got to get a quality shot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is you're right. The second quarter, Durfee's time management going into the half was not very good. They got to be better with that here in the second half.
And that's where youth can, the term playing young, and it's a young team. Everybody, shoot, rebound, assist, whatever. Clock management and game sense is very important, and those are the things where a young team can have a tough time with at certain junctures of the game.
Will Nieves picking up his second offensive foul. Durfee's 6th, and it goes basically as a turnover.
Another shot that was early in the shot clock here.
Yep.
Couple seconds differential right here for Bridgewater-Raynham. You see Bridgewater-Raynham's going to milk a little bit, take a good shot.
DiCarvalho.
Maybe shooting 1-1.
Number 7. We're going to see a lot of free throws in the fourth quarter because Durfee with 7 fouls, BR with 6, and we're not even out of the third. DiCarvalho's second, both coming in this quarter, and free throws here for Whitting.
A big mentor of mine in basketball, Mike Silva, a great athlete here, baseball, on the 95 baseball state championship team. Basketball coached, was the JV coach when I was with Jeff Caron and Steve Mata, a guy who bounced a lot of things off of. He emphasized so much of practicing these end of quarter situations daily in practice. Put a minute on the clock, put a score on the clock. practice these type of situations here. One shot, one stop,
Right.
up 2, down 2, just so when you get into these situations, you've practiced them, enough times where you can really do a good job in these situations.
So the 1-and-1 missed. 3 ball, no good. Kicks out Holly. He's got open court. Hilltoppers going to take the lead. Block. Hall there for the putback. 17 points for Hall and the Hilltoppers. Back in front by a point. BR trying to take the last shot. No. Holly. Basket. That's closing out a quarter.
Couldn't have said it better myself. What's great is you see Hall's enthusiasm. At times, this gym can get quiet. It's so big it can get quiet. Hall's enthusiasm is infectious. The bench is up. The fans are up. That is closing out a quarter.
And that's what we need to see. The Hilltoppers made it happen. I mean, it could have been much worse. That 3 ball came down this end of the court here, and that 3 ball came right after an and one, a rebound that Durfee should have had. So, the Hilltoppers made it happen in those final 10 seconds. 2 quick baskets, and they now lead it by 3 after 3 quarters. So, hey, totally different feel here. Interesting enough, considering how quiet Durfee was in that 3rd quarter, they have led at the end of each quarter so far tonight. All 3 quarters, Durfee's held the lead.
Well, there's a little bit of enthusiasm in the gym right now, too.
Sure.
And people don't understand how much enthusiasm can go.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally starts with a Jay Hall fist pump after a putback,
Right.
a rebound, sprint the floor. Next thing you know, the guy next to you is playing harder, and now the gym's probably as loud as we've seen it in a while.
Probably as loud as it's been all night. And that's another thing. That's why you got the 6 men here. That's why you have home court advantage. So hopefully BR brought a cheering section. They're down off to the right. So I think that's forcing the Durfee kids here to be a little louder than we've seen them in some games this season as well.
Durfee's going to have to do a better job of taking care of the ball in the early stages of the fourth quarter here. They got over that rut right here. Coach Cruz got a nice combination of guys in here that got them back in the game. They were never out of the game, but got them back in the game over that little hump right here.
And let's not forget, we didn't have Coach Alves
For 3.
did not have
Daniel Doherty for his 3rd 3, I believe.
Yep, you're right. 3rd 3, 11 points now. But he didn't have Rubenskas in there those final 2 minutes.
Niev's out of control to the basket.
Looking for the foul, didn't get it.
Durfee extending their zone a little bit. They almost had me fooled for a second. I was just about to say Durfee out of it and playing a little bit of man-to-man, but they were just out at the volleyball line a little bit.
What would you say, what was harder for you when you played in terms of for defense? Was it more challenging to stay one-on-one against somebody and try to foul them, or was the zone a little easier because you could kind of move around a little bit, you had a little more freedom?
Well, when you're,
if you will,
well, if you're playing against a player that's much quicker than you, and
true.
you can go by it was always challenging. And
Yeah.
off the top of my head, I can think of Timmy Forbes from Attleboro, Matt Kerr.
Yeah, right.
Brockton was 20-0 my senior year, so that was challenging.
Right.
But as a coach, I was going to say I tend to go man-to-man, although our teams played a lot of zone. It's just it all depends on personnel, and it all depends on flow of a game.
Okay.
So I don't think I gave you an answer.
No, you did.
And not very
It's situational is what it is.
And not very swift of foot. I would say that I probably struggled in the man-to-man as a player.
Well, BR's come out in this 4th quarter.
Floor recognition, Nelson.
5-0 run for the Trojans to start the 4th. Durfee starting cold again at the start of a quarter. The foul that sent Rubenskas out for the 1-and-1 was on Martinez. It was his 3rd, Durfee's 8th overall.
Going to be shooting free throws both ways.
I know, I was going to say, hopefully for Durfee, that's not going to come back and bite them. A lot of fouls in that 3rd quarter.
There's that dive down.
Oh, it doesn't go. That one's gone a couple times. Great job by Hall, able to get it back off. Holly fading away, not good. Doesn't go. That was a real tough shot for Holly. Nieves.
Michael Barnes had me multiple times tonight wondering where a travel call has been. His feet work are
Yeah.
he's fooled me a couple times. At certain times it looks like he got happy feet. The technical foul has just been addressed.
I think on Nieves, and that, if so, that's his. No, so he's got his fourth, and then I think the check on top of it. Yep.
In a possession-for-possession game, you can't be giving a team like Bridgewater-Raynham extra opportunities, free opportunities. And the officiating these days is they're not going to listen to you, and it's going to be very, very quick with getting a tee, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. So now 2 shots coming here for Bourne. He's made both his free throw shots tonight. That one misses. And that gets a little bit of a jeer from the 6th man.
Bridgewater-Raynham will get the ball side out as well.
They gave him a point. It never went down. It should be 43. Did I miss something? Should it be 43 to 41? They assessed a double tech. Now Nieves with 5 fouls.
I'm not sure where the scoreboard is going up right now. Scoreboard at 45-41.
Yeah. Am I missing something here?
The Durfee bench doesn't seem to be fighting it as well.
No.
Now Coach DeCruz is at the scorer's table, double checking right now.
2 baskets.
Officiating. They've done
Yeah.
the officials have done a great job all night. They're going to get to the table, make sure this is right. Neither bench seems too concerned right now, so
Yeah.
I'm sure this is something that will be.
Maybe it's because of the double foul there on Nieves, because he's essentially fouled out now.
And I actually enjoy how calm I am right now, saying both benches, the officials, everything will be under control. I do recall a handful of times I was basically sitting on the table.
Right.
I recall a Brockton game a couple of years ago. Scorebook is on the table right now.
So 44, 1 point's off. Did Bourne take 2 shots?
Took 1.
No, he took 1 and he missed it.
Correct.
Okay. So that was, was that a 1-and-1 because it was 9 fouls? No, with a technical you get 2 shots anyway. Am I right? With a tech, it's 2 shots.
Would have been first, and then if it was a 1-and-1, would have been.
So maybe so they assessed the foul first. 1-and-1.
1-and-1. And
all right.
Then the technical
so
foul.
Bourne missed it, and then did Rubenskis hit? He hit 1 of 2. So 44 would be correct then. So that is accurate. I'm not sure what the 45 was about, but it should be. If we're going off that logic, so Rubenskis took the tech. He took the 2 shots for the tech, and that must be what it is. So 44-41 should be correct. If we're correct.
I think I stated early on that running stats and paying attention to the game was never my forte. In the volleyball world, I don't know how coaches stat and coach at the same time. Yeah, I've always handed my clipboard to somebody else and have them do it. Very same in the basketball.
Well, regardless of the basket here, Durfee with the Durfee has not scored in this 4th quarter, 2 minutes in, and that is what's more cause for concern than anything. So BR should have possession.
Both teams going to the bench for an official timeout.
Yeah.
Unofficial's timeout. The officials are going to make sure they get this right. Both teams to the bench.
Yeah.
This does look like this is the correct score.
Yeah. Still trying to sort this out.
Bourne going to the line again.
Yeah, so now I am thoroughly confused here.
Both student sections are up right now, and
yeah, getting a little chaotic because a bunch of the Durfee kids just shifted over down near the BR cheering section, which is like an unwritten no-no.
And I'm not quite sure why Bourne's going back to the free throw line.
I'm
now.
not either.
The officials signaling just one free throw.
And he missed it. So all that, and it still doesn't even matter. So 44-41. BR ball. I know athletic director Buston is down there. I see him typing to me now. So we're in communication via text here because he caught the tail end of the conversation.
Bridgewater-Raynham ball now. Up 3.
Yeah, so you get the ball after the tech. King underneath. Good feed to Rubenskis. And the foul.
And we shoot more free throws.
Team limit for Durfee. Nieves is out of the game. He had no points tonight. Third foul for Coleman. Okay, so athletic director Buston saying that the officials were saying it wasn't a 1-on-1, it was double bonus. And that's why the second shot for Bourne.
And what was with the score? Just an error?
I think
a manual error?
Yeah, and it obviously nobody's perfect. The scores table, bit of a, if you will, a rookie table this year, so to speak. Aside from Margaret, our official scorer, who's just so tremendous at that table, but scoreboard operators, shot clock operators, it's kind of been a little bit of a round robin this year. And so a couple new operators, they're still learning the ropes. And the bottom line, they figured it out. That's all that matters here. The 3 is good.
Doherty with his 4th.
Yeah. Outside threat, Doherty, 14 points, 6-point Durfee lead. A whistle and a foul on the floor.
Hall went up there and got that as he was playing football. That was a tough pass Lewis gave him, but he went up there and got it, showing the skills that he shows on the gridiron.
Buckley picks up his first foul in limited time for the Trojans. He's going to take a seat now. And good news with that foul, at least for Durfee, is it puts them in a 1-on-1 situation now the rest of the way. Hall has not been to the line, 17 points all on the floor. Got to hit this first shot. It's a big one. And he banks it in off the square.
There's a lot of time here in the fourth quarter. A lot of time to get to the free throw line. Durfee's going to have to take care and make free throws.
Both shots made. 2 very big baskets for Jay Hall. It's a 4-point game.
As great as Hall has played in the typical basketball sense, making shots and rebounding, his enthusiasm is infectious.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing hard as he always does, but that little extra, it goes a long, long way. He's got a big bounce in his step. He's engaged in the game.
You see, he went out of bounds. The Durfee gets the ball on a turnover.
Durfee's not in that press breaker, but they're going to
No, and I really would like to see, we got 5 minutes to go. I would love to see Durfee press on defense just for a couple minutes. Lewis, that never hits the rim, but DiCavallo gets the rebound.
Good job by Hall. His heat check this, he wanted to put one up there, but they got a better shot going to the rim.
Yeah, Lewis tried for the jumper, but see, again, Durfee kind of hanging back. Lewis trying to stick a hand in there. I would love to see a full court press for the Hilltoppers. Should be Durfee ball, or
just a show for a couple things. See what happens.
Yeah,
Bridgewater-Raynham's just walking it up and getting right into their offense.
Well, that's what I mean. Mess with them a little bit here. Got to get it in. Gonna run out of time. Floating pass. Lewis gets
Call
it.
those lofty passes.
Lofty, thank you. I couldn't remember the term you used last week.
A made-up term. Nobody else calls them that, but maybe me and a few of the girls from 2012 to 15.
DiCavallo got the great rebound, and Durfee threw it away again. That's a travel. And Whitting frustrated, but obviously it's the right call. He lost his footing. What are you going to do? More frustrated at himself, I think. We're about halfway through this fourth quarter, which has been Rather interesting. Hall driving the lane, hands it off to Coleman. Coleman puts it in. No, it rolls off.
Coleman did a good job going right at him, and defensively, Rubenskas did a really good job of not fouling. It was just good basketball on both ways. The ball just didn't go in the basket.
And we've seen a few of those instances here in this fourth quarter. It's hurt Durfee.
Bridgewater-Raynham patient on offense, get the ball right to that 15-foot spot.
Rubenskas' basket's good. 51 to 45. I wonder at which point we might see Durfee call a timeout here.
I've never seen this before right here. The clock stop and tie his shoe on a made basket.
Yeah.
Not sure if the clock stops like that.
No, that's interesting. The official
allowed
gave
him to tie his shoe and stuff. Yeah, that's... the clock's not supposed to stop.
No. Holly gets across half court. Almost lost the ball. Now he escapes out of trouble. To the corner, to Hall. No good. Lewis with the rebound, jars it loose, though, from the backside, and the Trojans come away with it again. BR not giving Durfee any second looks here on their trips down the court.
Ooh, he's waiting for somebody to be there. Wasn't there.
2-on-1. Lewis fed to... Oh, and it's going to be taken back.
Good hustle getting back defensively for Bridgewater-Raynham.
3. Again! Doherty!
His 5th 3 of the game. He's feeling it right now.
And there's the timeout. 9-point game. The Hilltoppers only one basket from the field in nearly 5 minutes of play in this fourth quarter. It's not the way Durfee wanted to close out this game. There's still time, but, man, they got a lot of work to do right now.
That enthusiasm that was there to end the third quarter needs to come back right now on the defensive end. Right now is a time where you got to pull out of your zone and you've got to go man to man. Try to speed them up. See if you get a couple quick baskets in the backcourt. See if you get a couple things going to the basket. Shooting free throws. You got to speed the game up right now.
Right. Well, 3:02 to play. That enthusiasm you mentioned, Durfee's fire has kind of been put out a little bit here. It's disappeared.
Well, the way Durfee can get to the rim and the way the three-point basket is important in today's game is they're not out of it by any stretch. 3 minutes is an eternity in basketball.
Oh, absolutely. But they got to make the shots, and they've had 3 trips down in the offensive in a row here. Durfee hasn't come up with a basket. Another shoe tying timeout here. DiCavallo going to work on the laces. And now here we go. Hall will inbound.
Right now, the 2 bigs from Durfee should just go get out of the basket right now. Don't crowd up this half-court area.
Give it to DiCavallo. Back to Lewis now. Lewis going into traffic, shoots it off to Holly. Holly stops. BR just looks really fast to the ball right now. Quicker than Durfee's been really all second half. As you mentioned, they came out of the half. The Trojans did very quick. 7 seconds. Lewis, tough shot, and it doesn't go. Another bouncer that just doesn't fall Durfee's way, and the Hilltoppers going to retreat. Where's the press?
Bridgewater-Raynham's going to take some time off the clock before they shoot the ball right now. They're going to milk this for every second of the shot clock if they don't turn the ball over.
Well, they just did. Lewis now has to slow up. Get it to Holly.
Durfee's going to have to get going a little bit faster offensively now.
Holly just almost lost it there.
Jean-Pierre defensively very, very strong.
Thrown away.
And he's showing some of the enthusiasm right there. He's proud of his effort on that end right there.
Yeah. Turnovers and missed baskets are killing Durfee here in the fourth. Mind you, Durfee had a 41-38 lead at the start of the fourth quarter.
Durfee coming up out of it a little bit. Coach DeCruz is calling for him to get out of the press, but
I don't know. Look, I don't like to second guess anybody because I'm not the coach, but I think at this point in the game, another timeout for Durfee. They got to be full courting it and trying to get that ball back before they cross half court. Try to get the steal, get the hands in there. Show some pressure. BR's walking it to half court. I'm very surprised by this. Not what we've seen in the past from Durfee teams. And they got the speed to do it. That's the whole thing. They got the speed to do that. and to hang with them man-to-man.
Yeah, each team has their own philosophy, their own defensive, identity, and I've played my fair zone as a coach, and I mean, some of the coaches at the highest level of basketball have their principles that they stay to and they trust, and this seems to be one of the things Durfee has definitely made a point of emphasis in doing, and they've played it well.
Yeah.
In certain parts of this game, and Bridgewater-Raynham has just done a nice job moving the ball around. It's not a typically high-scoring game right now. Neither team is, shooting the, lights out. But
well, I'll tell you right now, if Doherty wasn't in this game, he's got 9 points in this fourth quarter. That's the difference right now. 5 from downtown.
And talk about a kid, too, who just kept shooting because he missed his first handful in the first quarter. And, shooters shoot, and he's done a really good job. Durfee's now in a man-to-man.
10 seconds on the shot clock for the Trojans. What a Bourne. Big-time drive, gets the foul.
Bourne's done a nice job of managing their offense all game. How many points does he have?
Bourne has just 5.
Yeah, but it's been so much more than just scoring.
Yeah, he's been around a lot. He's been everywhere, really.
He's defended well for them. He's managed their offense. He's done a really nice job for them.
Holly's second foul, team limit for Durfee. 2 shots. Bourne now 3 for 5 in free throws. 3 for 5.
Rivera coming back into the game, I would assume, for a potential another 3-point shooter.
We'll see. Now a 10-point lead for BR. Make it 11.
Bridgewater-Raynham's going to drop back a tad so they don't pick up any ticky-tack fouls in the backcourt. They're going to trust their half-court defense now.
Holly never hits the rim.
Tried to draw the foul.
Coleman will let the offense reset as he sent it out of bounds off the knees of Rubenskas. Quick to Lewis. Rivera calling for it. Oh, going to take an NBA 3. That's going to be short.
Loose ball foul on Hall.
For Jay Hall, that's going to be his 3rd. And again, Durfee at the limit, but this won't hurt them as it was, well, it should be 2 shots. Or was it because it's offense? Yeah.
As the official, he said it
should be 2 shots.
Right on top of things. The officials done a good job.
Yeah, they really have had a good game tonight.
I like that the SEC has got 3 officials for league games. I always struggle in the tournament time when you would go from 2 referees all year to 3 referees. I always thought the flow, especially those early tournament games, could be awkward a little bit. Through nobody's fault that you play like you practice.
Right.
The officials, it's no different. You went Massachusetts was 2 all year, and then all of a sudden, late February, March comes along, they're 3. I think this is fantastic that the SEC is 3 officials right from the jump.
No, I like it too. I agree. Rubenskas has been to the free throw line 4 times in the 4th. He's 10 for 11 at the line tonight.
He definitely came in advertised. He was touted as one of the better players in the SEC, but he's one of the better players in the South. Definitely a college-level player.
And now a block for him. Durfee will keep it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Holly
on the floor. Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, Jean-Pierre's 2nd foul. The 8th for the team. And Holly will go to the line 1-1. Javon is 4 for 6 at the line tonight.
Javon Holly with his typical game of attacking the basket, scoring the ball.
You know what? They counted the basket. This is an and 1. They counted that.
A little bit of an NBA continuation right there.
I guess so. I'm surprised. So the basket counted. That wasn't the initial call.
Durfee getting the ball back and an offensive foul. That was a foul in the backcourt.
Lewis wide open. Holly for 3, no good. Lewis gets it back. Can't even take the shot. There's so much coverage under there. Now takes the 3. It was tipped.
Another block.
Yep. Tremendous block by Rubenskas.
Bridgewater's going to eat this clock right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're just swinging it around right now. 15 on the shot clock. Durfee not fouling. Looks like they're waving the white flag right now with 21 seconds on the clock. And foul with 6 seconds on the clock.
Hall picking up number 4 for himself. And Bourne back to the line. Hit his last 2. So for Durfee, only one more home game, and it's Monday the 17th. That's President's Day. And it'll be Boston Latin coming in, a 5:30 game on the holiday.
New Bedford's next week, correct?
Yeah, Durfee on the road on Thursday. So they're going to stand idle until Thursday when they head to the Whaling City.
On a Thursday, Durfee, New Bedford for a Thursday?
Thank you. Good point. It was supposed to be Friday, Valentine's Day. Something else I think may be going on in New Bedford. For whatever reason, Athletic Director Tarpey and Athletic Director Busson, they moved the boys' game
Agreed on a Thursday.
to Thursday. The girls' game, interestingly enough, here at Durfee will still be on Friday.
So that'd be their senior night.
Actually, no. From what I was told, senior night will be on Tuesday against Bishop Stang for the girls here, which we will be here for. Another 3, letting it fly, no good. I'll tell you, the Hilltoppers really closed out that third well. They took the lead into the fourth, but man, the shooting just went ice cold. BR with 22 points in the fourth quarter. Durfee with just 7, and that tells the story. That's not how you close out a game. Real tough loss for Durfee. A game that they really had, I think, pretty much in control. They controlled much of this game. I thought they outplayed BR in a lot of this game, but later in the game, as the second half went on, Durfee really faded and BR just really took over.
Bridgewater-Raynham playing deep into this part of the season right now. These are must-wins for them to get to the playoffs, where they really feel they can do some damage and make a run in Division I South.
I'll tell you one thing is they can probably make a run. They have the height, they got the skill. It's just going to be, can they get past Coach Bowen's Boxers? Because we saw Brockton last week, and man, oh man, I think that the Boxers are really going places in Division I this year.
Well, that's definitely a challenge that I think Bridgewater-Raynham would love to take on.
For sure. All right, everybody, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Tough one for Durfee. Again, you know, one that they really did compete very hard in, but the fourth quarter just really faded. So Durfee's going to drop to 3-14, have not won a conference game yet here in 2020. BR improves to 7-8, 5-1 in the SEC. Brendan, thanks again for joining me. Been a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
All right. Our great crew behind the scenes, Nathan Saucier and Nick Dolan running camera, Jake Fitzgerald directing tonight. For my broadcast partner, Brendan Kelly, I'm Evan Massoud saying so long from Durfee.